Nowadays, everybody is on the internet. I mean, I can't even go 10 minutes without being on my phone. And in a world where influencers have become powerful figures for shopping trends, opinions, as well as consumer behavior, they have the ability to reach the people and influence them accordingly. In the influencer economy, it has become so important for influencers to have an extremely high standard of truthfulness because we trust them. We shouldn't, but we do. That's why every piece of somebody's merchandise clothing will be from one of their favorite content creators. It's not because they love the product or the quality. 9 times out of 10 it's because they just support the influencer. And because of this, the ramifications of being dishonest with your audience can have devastating repercussions on your reputation. Meaning that, yeah, the FTC does require you legally to disclose any links or affiliates or PR, etc. But beyond that, influencers have an ethical responsibility. Their words and their actions can impact the beliefs and the decisions of their followers. Meaning that truthfulness is not just a professional obligation, but a moral duty. I mean, we all saw the whole entire internet go from loving and praising Michaela Nogueira to simply hating her and calling her a money-hungry bitch. All over one tiny little lie: that her lashes were real. #Lashgate. From manage your expectations, Gabby Hanna in the Kenza Cosmetics scandal.
But I would also add, manage your expectations a little bit.
To even a more recent situation with established titles. Maintaining credibility is crucial for influencers' longevity as well as their success. Misleading or dishonest practices can lead to the erosion of their credibility, jeopardizing the way we view them within the community. So what happens when you have a rising social media star who wants to create their own clothing brand, only to leave countless people without their orders, without their customer service, without their refunds, and without even a single fuck to give, because the creator decided to abandon the project and pretend as if it never even happened? Well, you get snitchery. But my biggest question was, did Snitchery really get away with scamming her audience, as well as ignoring criticism without tarnishing their credibility? Or was she the victim of what is now being coined the new age MLM scam? So take a trip with me as we find out in today's video, did Snitchery really just get away with scamming her followers? Question mark.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hi guys, what is up? What is good? What is Gucci? It is your girl Paige Christie here, bringing you yet another video. Girl, let me explain to you about this video before I even start, because I am literally, I'm about to lose my mind. I filmed one whole half of this video. We were ready to go. I was spitballing. It was a great time. I was kind of a little bit medicated, girl. But then I got halfway through the story and I started connecting dots whilst reading through the story like the millionth time and thinking, hold on, this doesn't make sense. So I had to go back literally and sit down and research more and more of this. Yeah, bearing in mind I've been doing this all day. It is now 1:41 a.m. and I'm refilming the entire video from the very beginning. So I have had my makeup on way too long, but I feel like it's important to let you guys know that I have reached out, just obviously in the short time frame of this parameter now. It's kind of unreasonable for me to have expected Eleanor, aka Snitchery, to have responded in any capacity. She may not respond, but I just want to make it clear that I have reached out, and if anything changes, obviously I'll let you know in the updates. Usually in these kind of situations, I would just wait until I get some kind of response, or at least give it 24 hours. But girl, as I've expressed to you earlier on, I've had this makeup on for way too long and I ain't doing my makeup twice, girl. So get ready for multiple twists and turns in today's video, girl. It will keep you on your toes. Pay attention. We are going bullet point by bullet point, piece by piece, block by block, brick by boring brick by Paramore, girl. But join me as we begin in chapter 1 of this entirely messy snitchery video. Enjoy.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Okay, so first of all, who is Snitchery, aka Eleanor Barnes? I will leave a timestamp up here if you already know who she is and want to bypass this section, but for the people who don't know who she is, here we go. Eleanor Barnes, aka Snitchery, is a 27-year-old YouTuber, TikTok star, and content creator from the United States of America. She self-describes herself as being right in the niche of being a millennial Gen Z cusp, meaning that her content has the interest of millennials such as myself as well as Gen Zs, making her absolutely perfect for the TikTok generation. She is known for her cursed yet sexy cosplays, ruining everybody's favorite childhood characters, one TikTok at a time. She's a biracial woman, with her mum being white and her dad being black, and is from Virginia. She describes herself as a makeup enthusiast as well as an anime lover and gamer. She actually has a degree in visual media and art studies. She studied at Emerson College in Boston and has even used her knowledge about camera lenses to go viral on her third ever TikTok video about her selfie hack. Now, this selfie hack ended up exploding on TikTok. I remember exactly when it happened because even content creators like fuck-ass James Charles was trying out the trend. This situation actually did cause a little bit of controversy because a lot of people were asking James Charles to credit Snitchery for her concept, and James Charles basically brushed it off and said, "I didn't even know somebody else had figured it out. Girl, shut up. You're a liar." We don't like James Charles here on this channel. However, TikTok wasn't her first brush with gaining virality. In fact, Eleanor, aka Snitchery, has been creating content since she was 18 years old. She started on Instagram posting her artsy makeup looks online, and she actually told Glossier magazine, "I got on Instagram so I could talk to people in college, and I started doing these really artsy looks on my face." She said, "I didn't even know what an influencer was, but a couple of brands started noticing me. That led to working with every brand that I could think of, including MAC, Tarte, Too Faced, and Benefit. I had green hair in high school when there was no TikTok to see that there were other kids like me. Now it's mainstream to be a nerd, which is awesome." On using Instagram to build her platform, she speaks to TrueSelf.com, where she states the following. She said, "Okay, if I want to make friends in college, this is the way to do it. I'm going to do the social media route. As a makeup lover and early selfie queen, Eleanor began posting aesthetically pleasing looks to her Instagram. During the summer of sophomore at Emerson, majoring in media studies and art history, while working in the crafty aisles of Michael's, Eleanor first realized her influencer aspirations and decided to turn a passing hobby into a full-time career. She quickly began making more money than an average 20-year-old college student. By 2017, she was completely financially independent, creating makeup looks, tutorials, and eventually as a self-proclaimed nerd at heart, leaning into cosplay. In addition to working with many brands, her TikTok career absolutely exploded in 2019 when she became the ambassador for Savage by Rihanna, which kind of makes sense as to why her cosplays are now gearing towards the more sexier looks. Now she has amassed a following of 656,000 subscribers on YouTube, 1.3 million followers on Instagram, as well as 4 million followers on TikTok, as well as 551,000 followers on Twitter. Now, if you are Paige colored and you are thinking to yourself, hold on, I recognize her from something completely different, it will most likely be the blackfishing scandal. Now, as we know, Eleanor is biracial. However, she is what many have classified classified as white passing. And that basically means that people don't instantaneously clock her, if you will, as being black or being a person of color. She can walk around and to the untrained eye, she looks like a white girl. I personally don't see it, but apparently this is a thing. There was this whole situation that took place, and I do believe it was in 2019, where Snitchery was accused by many within the community of blackfishing, aka using her racial ambiguity in order to present as more ethnic, before people actually realized, no, she actually is part black. I want to know how stupid y'all all felt and looked when you said that and found out that you were loud and wrong. In an article with True Self, she said the following: I obviously read as black for 18 years, and then I realized in college for the first time that I was going to be read as completely white. Well, the accusations got so wild that 4 years ago in 2019, Eleanor decided to sit down on her channel and speak to her audience about the blackfishing.
Hi, my name is Eleanor. I'm biracial. If you did not know, here is me without the wig on. Here is me as a baby. And oh my god, this is why I always break my nails, you see? Fuck. And here is my family. It may surprise you to learn, or may not if you're one of these people, that even after showing you bam 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 ABC, lots of people will still think that I am fully white. And you know what?
There have been a few other scandals and controversies it is that Snitchery, aka Eleanor, has been involved in, but honestly, I feel a lot of them are really mild. Besides that, she's for the most part a very unproblematic content creator. So how on earth did this young lady manage to get herself in a scandal that people have been begging me, and when I say begging, I mean, I'm not even joking, begging me to discuss on my channel? Well, Snitchery came out with her very own clothing line. In an article by Paper Magazine, she stated, I'm also picking up some projects that were on hold at the beginning of the year, so I'll be dipping my toes into apparel. That was in October of 2020. And on the 12th of the 12th, 2022, Snitchery birthed her very own baby. That was the clothing brand by the name of Last Gen.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Step into Last Gen, art reimagined as fashion by Snitchery. For a while in the run-up to this launch, Snitchery had been teasing that she was going to be doing an apparel line, and she was really excited for it. When people asked questions, she was telling them that it was going to be size inclusive, and everybody was so excited. Then came the launch on the 12th of the 12th, 2022, and people were absolutely flabbergasted by the quality of photographs, as well as the extremely appealing size range, ranging from an extra small right the way up to either a 3 or a 4XL online, which is a pretty diverse size range. The photo shoot looked amazing, the models looked absolutely gorgeous, people had questions and queries about the quality of the products, but besides that, the launch went really well. However, many people began to complain online that they either A, had not received the product, or B, that the product it is that they received was not up to quality. And when trying to contact customer service to get any kind of conflict resolution between themselves and the brand, many people were left on scene. Girl, I was just saying that to be cool. I have no idea whether they were left on scene. Maybe they just weren't opened. Who knows? They didn't get a response is what I'm basically trying to say. Okay, so here we have the Last Gen website. It is still available right now, but the products themselves are all sold out on the website. This is lastgen.com. When you click on shop, you can see all of the products. We've got the Nike corset, which is $75. We have the Clio corset, which is $65. And lastly, the Aphrodite corset, which is $85. And on the website, here is the note from the founder, aka Snitchery. This is what she has to say about her products. Hi, you've made it somewhere utterly precious for me. For the last 2.5 years, Last Gen has been my muse and my world. In 2020, I became obsessed with the idea for a clothing brand that sat at the intersection of art and fashion. I wanted each piece to feel uniquely inspired by previous periods and artistic moments in history, but modernized and powerful, reimagined with diverse faces typically unseen in classic high art throughout the centuries in mind. Equally important for me was that this brand was self-owned, because Last Gen doesn't sit in the pocket of a wealthy benefactor. We are not perfect. We certainly have room to grow and expand and improve. And through hard work, I hope to do it with you. Luckily, this is a brand that truly belongs to us. Ultimately, the pit stop for passionate people to celebrate fashion and expression. I want you all to feel special and connected and fucking sexy when you wear these clothes. You are art at the end of the day. This is just the beginning, baby. XX, Snitchery, but call me Eleanor. Honestly, I live for that last sentence. This is just the beginning, baby. Yeah, we're at the start line. I don't think we got to finish, sweetie. We're just at the beginning. Okay. Now, when the brand went live over a year ago, it was posted to Reddit's beauty guru chatter, where a lot of people had a lot to say. A lot of people, I'm gonna be honest, were dragging Eleanor, because many, especially those within the plus size community, felt as if the items were very well fitting for individuals of a smaller frame, but people who were on the more plus size end of the scale did not necessarily look as good as everybody else, as it wasn't fitted to their body shape. For when it comes to fashion production, a lot of people, especially when creating plus size clothing, I'm only speaking about this from a person who is plus size, a lot of these companies actually don't know how to create products that are well fitting for the plus size body. They just simply scale it up, when realistically that is not something that you can really do with plus size clothing. It can't just be sized up, it has to be tailored up. There were comments in there such as, the quality is giving drop shipped AliExpress. Another person says, it doesn't look like it fits well on anyone. Another person stated, I'm sorry, there's not a single piece here that looks good. This looks like poorly fitted pirate attire. Somebody else said, who is wearing flesh tone biker shorts in the year 2022? No thank you, ma'am. However, shortly after the brand's launch, within about a year or so of that, people started noticing online that Snitchery had decided to remove Last Gen from her linked tree, which is basically a list where you have all of your links. And many people on TikTok use Linktree in order to link other websites for various other content or merch, etc, etc. Snitchery was no different. She had it in her Linktree, but then it just suddenly disappeared. So people started having a look on social media to see what is going on with her brand. Why has it suddenly disappeared? Why was there no announcement? And that's when me and my team came across a post on the Beauty Guru Chatter subreddit talking about the fact that it's very much possible that Snitchery has completely abandoned Last Gen, with many people not even receiving a refund.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Okay, so about 3 months ago, there was a post on Reddit about Eleanor's brand, Last Gen. This is what the post had to say. Snitchery's clothing brand, Last Gen, has been abandoned. Customers ignored for months, support emails disabled, phone number no longer active, refunds and orders not given. She has yet to comment. The person stated, really disappointing because I would never have thought Snitchery would get herself into a mess like this. The brand announcement isn't even a year old and there's complaints about orders tracking back to a month after its release. But Eleanor has still had the time to make her quirky little cosplay TikToks and take a trip to Japan while owing her fans refunds and orders. So let's take a look at what has been said on social media. One person stated, I reached out 5 times regarding my order and no one has replied. It was expected to arrive on February 28th and yet no tracking number has even been posted. Might be a scam, to be honest. Somebody else said, neither email listed on their website works and they don't even answer DMs. I've already contacted my bank. Then somebody else responded, okay, I'm so happy I'm not the only one. I tried to order once before and it literally never arrived. And the second order, they don't even bother to pretend to send it. Dead face. Another person responded, I wish I saw all of this before placing my orders. Another complaint states, no response on my order going on 2 months. All email addresses related to the site have been disabled. Feeling scammed. Somebody else said, disabled? What the F? I'm sorry, girly. Please file a claim with your bank and get your money back. This is horrible. I expected more from Snitchery, to be honest. Like, if you're going to abandon your brand, at least make sure you send people who wanted to support you their items before doing that. Another person responded, I'm still waiting on a response, going on 2 months as well. I disputed it with my bank and they told me to go through the company, but I've tried and I've told them that. The emails have been disabled and the number on the site is no longer an active number. Another person stated, really pissed about you taking my money for 0 product and continuing to mention this brand and take orders knowing you owe people a product or a refund. What's crazy is when you finally give people their stuff, it's going to be a small business. You need to have patience, blah, 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 blah. But no, shutting down the email service and not responding to people for months is a choice. And I've even emailed your personal email and nothing. But who has my money? You, for nothing. A product never received. About once a month, I come back to remind you that it's so trash that you still have this site up and active. No products, no refunds, 0 response. That's a scam where I come from. Are you going to address your clothing brand not shipping orders and shutting down their email that customers can use for support? Question mark? Laugh my ass off. Ordered the Nike hoodie during the sale. Got it here Thursday. The zipper got stuck when I tried it on and then broke tonight when I tried to wear it out. Smiley face. Somebody else responded, I ordered it during the sale and it still hasn't shipped. Heart eyes emoji. Somebody else responded, same lol. We've had some really weird shipping issues. There was even some content creators on TikTok who actually took the time to call out Snitchery themselves over this issue publicly. This is what one TikToker had to say.
Make a costume with me in under an hour.
You address the fact that your company, The Last Zen, have been ignoring customers for months, no longer having the email working, the phone number is not working either, the refunds and orders are not given, and you have yet to comment. And it's been how long now? Talking about how the email to the site is disabled, so it's not working. It feels like a scam, and people have to file complaints at the bank just to get the money back. Comment sums up how I feel, talking about how a small bank need have patience, but here you are shutting down a whole email service and not responding to people for months. It's a choice. You're choosing to ignore people.
And there were multiple people on Reddit who also had a lot to say in the comment section. This is what a few of the Redditors had to say. I do wish there were actual consequences beyond a slap on the wrist and chargebacks when these influencers run these scammy businesses. They always somehow still have loyal fans and money to fall back on that the average small business owner doesn't have. They learn absolutely nothing from it. Somebody replied, same, but I believe parasocial relationships play a big part in the no consequences aspect. One person in that comment thread above placed an order, yet it literally never arrived. Instead of saying to themselves, nope, not gonna let it happen to me ever again, they went ahead and placed another order. Sub, fan, whatever. I would never have placed that second order. Accountability starts and ends with Snitchery, but somewhere in the middle as a consumer, you own your part of it too. When will people learn that these influencers are not your friends? Somebody else stated, Influencers often think that having a brand is the next step, but not everyone can handle their own company. It's a lot of hard work, not only putting your name on some products, but also figuring out distribution, customer care, delivery times, stocks, etc, etc. Somebody else responded, I think they want a brand because they know being an influencer is on a ticking clock. What are they going to do when they start making content? They just keep forgetting that they have to maintain their decisions and not forget about it because it's not a big deal until an unknown date in the future. Who knew that being a beauty guru came with a master's degree in dodging consequences? These people need to stop assuming that filming videos and doing the occasional brand collabs makes them fit to be brand owners. It's okay to not be able to do it, but you need to figure that out before taking people's money. So that left me with many questions unanswered, just like pretty much the people who had placed orders on Last Gen. And first and foremost, we just wanted to figure out, when I say we, I mean the royal we, me and my team, we just wanted to figure out, who do people go to get this resolved? People have attempted reaching out to Snitchery directly in private email. They've tried ringing the phone number that is now disabled. They've tried contacting the brand email, which is also now disabled. If you really wanted to rectify this wrong, how do you go about it? Some customers haven't received refunds. Nobody is getting an update. She's deleted the whole thing and we're all supposed to pretend like it doesn't exist. It's not in her link tree. All of the contact stuff is disabled. What are we supposed to do? Well, this is when me and my team decide to look into who's running the ship. And this is a section that I like to call, excuse me, can I speak to the manager, please?
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him.
Okay, so this is the section where I literally came to a roadblock because I could not understand where this company came from. In the privacy policy of the Last Gen website, there is a section right at the bottom that basically says for any privacy compliance and all of that kind of stuff to go to Fourth Wall. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the privacy policy, it says at the bottom, contact us for more information about a privacy policy, yada, 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 yada. And then it says, regarding privacy compliancy officer, fourthwall.inc, PO Box, blah, 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 Santa Monica, United States. So then we were like, who's Fourth Wall? Is this a management company who are helping out Snitchery to create these products? So we looked up Fourth Wall and found this website. Build your own brands on your own terms. Join over 20,000 creators who use Fourth Wall to power their shops and partnerships. This brand is being used by numerous different individuals, such as Philip DeFranco, Oompaville, as well as Marquez Brownlee, all who have shops and stores where you can purchase merchandise. One of the most prominent ones that many people will know is Philip DeFranco's Beautiful Bastards merch line. They describe themselves as an all-in-one monetization platform for content creators. Basically, it's a one-stop drop shipping platform where everything from design, production, fulfillment, quality, marketing, all of that kind of stuff can be done through them in-house. And there are no membership fees. There is just one flat rate fee that will be charged between Fourth Wall and the creator. Now, after checking the website Last Gen and using the inspector tool, we found that Last Gen's website was indeed being hosted on Fourth Wall without any issues.
This is a landing page. And the main image in the background there is what you call a hero image.
Okay.
If we hover over that,
with the inspect open.
Yeah. We can see here that the hero image, this whole image, is hosted by Fourth Wall.
Okay.
The reason we can see that is because if we look at the source of the image, it's at https://imageproxy.4thwall.com.
Okay.
Now, an image proxy basically means it's a host that they use for their images to do with their web development. So anything that you put on the website, like if you were going to do it on Shopify, that image will have a source name that's most likely got Shopify at the beginning of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Then dot, and then like a long code, which is what this is. So basically, this here is being hosted by fourthwall.com. There's no other way to say it.
Now, on the website section of the Fourth Wall website, it states the ultimate website builder for your brand. You can have custom storefront builder. You can sell your products online, have a homepage for your links, e-commerce integrations. There are numerous different ways to be able to sell your products through Fourth Wall. And they also give you fully customizable websites that are 100% owned by you. I promise you, this is not an ad for Fourth Wall. Now, this is the part that I found extremely interesting. If you go down to the frequently asked questions on this part of the site, there's a question there that states, can an online store make money? Which is a randomly stupid question. But anyway, it says, yes, absolutely. You can make money by creating your own online store and choosing to sell items from the Fourth Wall catalog, self-fulfilled products, or digital products. The part that I found extremely interesting is the self-fulfilled products, because when you search last gen into Google, there are numerous different sites that do come up, but all relating to a completely different brand altogether. And that is a brand by the name of Petra or Petra. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure it's Petra. It could be French like Pietra. Who knows, girl? But anyway, let's get into the next section.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
So what is Petra? Well, Petra is a self-proclaimed one-stop shop e-commerce brand or tool. Petra is a platform that makes it easy to launch and scale your e-commerce business. Petra offers everything you need, but don't want to spend years figuring out sourcing, warehousing, fulfillment, and e-commerce. Petra also offers educational manuals, videos, and tools for beginners. These resources intend to teach you how to navigate the platform in order to launch and scale a profitable business. Petra also has a blog in which they give free business posts where they describe their brand even further. As a subscriber, you are getting an unlimited access to the discounted services that Petra provides entrepreneurs. You can use all of our offered services to save, or just the few services that may be relevant to your business. Petra has a robust sourcing marketplace with more than 550 vetted suppliers across 30 plus categories. Creators have the ability to collaborate with these suppliers right from within the platform, creating private label as well as fully custom products from the ground up. From within the sourcing marketplace, creators have the ability to source both products and packaging. Additionally, Petra has a network of creative freelancers that you can hire to help with graphic design, photography, business strategy, and more. You can also sell your products directly on Petra's own marketplace. Now, if you go to websites such as Trustpilot to see the quality of Petra as a brand, you will see that there is 60% of 5-star comments, 12% of 4-star reviews, as well as 28% of 1-star reviews. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make any allegations, but I do believe that this is quite an interesting layout of 5-star and 4-star reviews versus vastly negative 1-star reviews. It's funny, it's almost like you either love them or you hate them, and there's no in between. I'll let you figure out what I might be thinking. However, on my journey to try and find more information about Petra and what the real community actually genuinely think about this service, I came across this post from 2 years ago in r/small business on Reddit, where somebody says, has anyone used Petra Studios for product sourcing? And they detailed the fact that they have an idea and they need it manufactured, and they wanted to see if anybody else has used them in order for them to figure out if that was a service that they would use. The top comment is, don't do it. I just realized that Alibaba has the same wholesale sources and Petra just upcharges the crap out of you after I made a purchase through Petra. Do your research on Alibaba wholesalers. Use reputable suppliers. Purchase samples through those suppliers on Alibaba. You don't need an additional X amount in fees just to use a middleman. However, at the very bottom of the page, I noticed something very interesting. A person by the name of The Rose Show commented, "Hi, I'm happy to answer questions that you may have. I'm PaigeChristieUK CEO. Also happy to give you some private referrals if you would like. If you join in the community chat, you can also ask around. Good luck with your business." So, you know, me being the absolute weirdo sleuth that I am, I started searching for The Rose Show's usernames to see if I can find where this person is, and I actually did end up stumbling across the CEO's Twitter. And from here, I was able to find their full name and find them on LinkedIn, to which it does seem as if they've been running PaigeChris since about 2019, meaning that the company is about 5 years old. They do have a team. They frequently go on team trips, team meetings, and it also does seem that they have investors invested in their products. They've actually decided to diversify their product to some degree by integrating AI into their products. For instance, they've now launched some kind of new software that you can use AI in order to show people or potential vendors and manufacturers what it is that you're looking to create in more specific detail. Take a look at one of their launch videos and that'll give you a good idea of what it is that they're trying to give to their creators, or quote unquote, as they like to call it, entrepreneurs. Oh yeah, that is right. You know the generative fill that Adobe have just come out with? Yeah. You can integrate that shit into here too. Brilliant. So basically, they provide very much similar services to Fourth Wall. They can provide design, they can provide fulfillment, they can provide packaging, they can provide manufacturers, but essentially it's up to you to do the networking with the relevant vendors and manufacturers and all of the people involved behind the scene, website makers, marketing, all of that kind of stuff. And you pay like a monthly membership fee in order to have all of these resources at your fingertips, as well as now being able to use AI generative fill in order to give a stronger description of the kind of products it is that you are wanting to produce. So basically this website functions pretty much the same almost as Fourth Wall. You can use their design team, you can get in contact with manufacturers, you can speak to various different vendors, you can get yourself a marketing manager, you can get fulfillment and distribution through them. And basically they create a space and a hub where you can use their tools to converse directly with all of these individuals, making all of this virtually at your fingertips, to the point that you can actually use artificial intelligence to produce designs for you that you can give more detailed descriptions of the items it is that you are wanting to create, especially if you yourself are not a designer. And I think that AI integration is such a unique and interesting tool. I'm not shading this company even in the slightest, because that is unique, that's inventive, that is something that I have never seen before. However, the reviews on various different websites are shocking. For instance, another website called Worth Penny has 2.5 stars with only 11 reviews. This one says, "I have been using PaigeChris fulfillment service wherein they are supposed to ship to customers within 2 to 3 days. They are currently sitting on orders that are 24 days old. I have been emailing them every day with no progress. When they have shipped out the orders, they often choose choose the most expensive shipping, $18 on DHL when it's $11 to $12 on UPS, causing me to actually lose money on sales. I can't speak to the sourcing aspect, but the fulfillment is very bad. Somebody posted, "This is the cause of our company's bankruptcy." Another individual said, "I wouldn't recommend. I don't like the platform. Every supplier that I reached out to either did not communicate effectively or get back to me at all, nor did they offer low minimums like the site claims. PaigeChristieUK doesn't give advance notice or reminders prior to billing and won't reverse the charge, despite the fact that I did not know that they would be charging me, and I had no plans to use the site. They make you fill out a form to cancel. I really wouldn't recommend." Another individual said, "Horrible. Don't use their services. $29 to find suppliers that you can find on your own. All of the suppliers are from AliExpress. I signed up and paid $29 to see their suppliers are from AliExpress. I asked to refund my $29 because I won't be using their services and haven't used their service since, and they refused." What a joke. So where exactly did this all go wrong? What happened to Last Gen X PaigeChristieUK?
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Now, the most interesting thing is that we found about PaigeChristieUK is that they have a storefront, and they even have a master list where you can see all of the creators and all of the individuals and brands and businesses that have collaborated with PaigeChristieUK for their merchandising and e-commerce activities. Now, on the creator master list or marketplace, they literally have all of the individuals it is that they work with. And as you can imagine, Last Gen, when you click to L, is most definitely on there too. So let's scroll down. We should be able to see it shortly. It's not in alphabetical order, but as you can see here, they have a visit shop option. Now, what was interesting about this to me is that Last Gen can actually be purchased directly through PaigeChristieUK on their own version of their marketplace within their website. So you know all of those items that were sold out on Last Gen? You know, like the Nike corset, which is sold out, the Aphrodite corset, which is sold out. Well, on PaigeChristieUK, these are not sold out. In fact, you can just click directly on them and add to cart. And you know what is like an extra kicker to this? Is that it says Aphrodite corset, $85. You can choose your size and they're all available, and it says want it Monday, January 22nd, order it within 4 hours, meaning that the stock must be available or the company's lying. It's literally one of the two. But my question is, why is PaigeChristieUK selling these items but not Snitchery? And then we ended up doing some further research. We also found PaigeChristieUK on Poshmark, and if you scroll a little bit down, what's this? The Aphrodite corset by Last Gen and a bunch of other brands who are selling their products through PaigeChristieUK as well. But wait, there's more. They even have a Depop storefront where, you guessed it, you can purchase all of the items from Last Gen on there too. This made me think to myself, why is this intermediary company who essentially provide resources and tools? It is a digital product. It is that they are selling to individuals. Why are they able to sell Last Gen's products if that's not their intellectual property? Or is it? So then we found on PaigeChristieUK's articles, it says, can I sell my products on PaigeChristieUK's sell network as well as my own website? To which somebody replied, PaigeChristieUK's members get access to many e-commerce tools to support their business. PaigeChristieUK allows you to connect your website so that you can sell your own custom-built website like Shopify, whilst being able to use PaigeChristieUK's fulfillment center. PaigeChristieUK offers members a PaigeChristieUK sales network that allows you to cross-list your products on popular wholesale, retail, and DTC websites to increase sales. All sales that take place on PaigeChristieUK's sales network will be fulfilled by PaigeChristieUK, and you as a brand will be paid out for the sale amount minus the platform's sales fees. PaigeChristieUK aggregates multiple sales channels channels to make it easy to post across many channels, easier than doing it yourself and managing multiple accounts. PaigeChristieuK's sales network currently includes Bonza, Depop, eBay, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, Fair, Goody, Google Shopping, Grailed, Macari, Instagram Shopping, Poshmark, Stadium Goods, StockX, Twitter, and Vestia Collective. In the e-commerce tab of PaigeChristieuK, you can decide which channel you would like to list your products on. This made it obvious to me, at least, that Snitchery must have at least clicked yes within this portal for all of these items to be able to be distributed on all of these various other platforms, such as eBay, Poshmark, Depop, etc. But what is confusing but also extremely interesting about this is on the eBay distribution for PaigeChristieUK, it states that the item is being distributed from Brooklyn in New York. However, their fulfillment center, as far as the website details, it is being in North Carolina. So where are the products? Where are they coming from? I know the man who is the founder of the business is based in New York, so I'm wondering if he has the products. Like, what's going on? And honestly, I wish I had answers for you, but I don't have any answers. Well, I guess neither do Snitchery's fans and subscribers who purchased these items and never received them, girl. So what is my conclusion? What is my conspiracy theory as to what on earth happened to Snitchery's brand?
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Okay, so in conclusion, and I'm gonna have to say that this section is my thoughts, my opinions, and not based on fact. These are just my conspiracies as to what I genuinely believe is taking place here with Snitchery and PaigeChristieuK and the whole situation with everybody not receiving their products nor receiving any kind of correspondence from Snitchery. I mentioned earlier on in the video that I reached out to a mutual of Snitchery to see if I could find some more information that could potentially put this whole situation to rest. And I've literally just checked my phone whilst I'm recording this, and Eleanor has responded. So whatever the update is, I will put it right here. Okay, so it is the next day, and earlier on in the day I had a conversation directly with Snitchery. She was able to clear up a lot of misconceptions for me, because one of the things it was that I was thinking was that the products weren't made by Snitchery. It was all done using PaigeChristieuK or PaigeChristieUK, whatever way you want to say it, in-house. But she confirmed to me that she actually has a team. She had a team of individuals who were working on the design process, and this has been a 2-year labor of love. This can be corroborated because there are various different articles that I read out a little bit earlier in today's video, which are dating back from 2020, and she didn't actually launch the brand until 2022. According to Snitchery, essentially what was happening was every month they were having models coming for fittings to help work alongside her designer. I guess she was taking more of a directorial approach to designing rather than, you know, sitting down drawing. That's what I'm gathering, but she was definitely hands-on and very much involved in the design process. She told me essentially that this company had been suggested to her by her management team, who handled pretty much everything for her. She thought that this would be a great idea because she needed a lot of help and did not financially have the resources to have the kind of backing it is that she wanted. She was very vulnerable with me. She expressed that she had sank quite a lot of her own personal money into it, including taking out loans. And it's going to kind of make you understand a little bit more as to why there was no announcement in regards to the closure, if you will, of her brand, because I'm not entirely sure it's over. But back to PaigeChristieuK, essentially what we believe to be taking place is correct. She originally was going to use Fourth Wall, but then changed her direction and ended up using PaigeChristieuK because she would have the ability to create and manufacture and produce her own clothes whilst in tandem using PaigeChristieuK alongside her to warehouse the items, fulfill the items in terms of distribution, and also handle customer service, which kind of makes sense as to why there was a huge breakdown in communication. I spoke to Snitchery. I said, girl, what is the situation with people not getting any response or able to contact anyone in customer service? That is when she expressed to me that PaigeChrist are the people who deal with the customer service. Her biggest issue was warehousing and fulfillment, and it was better to have somebody who was a part of the PaigeChrist network, a part of the PaigeChrist company, to handle any customer services inquiries, as that would only be in relation from it getting from the warehouse to the customer's home. However, there was an issue that took place, and this is extremely sensitive for Eleanor, so I'm gonna try and be as tactful as I possibly can. But the brand didn't do as well as she hoped. Basically, for all intents and purposes, it just didn't sell as much as what was expected. To the point it was actually becoming financially unfeasible for her to continue running the brand at all. So what ended up happening was she marked everything as done, sold out, we're not creating any more of this product, it's over, and communicated with PaigeChrist that she would no longer be using their services. She had conveyed to me that once the contract had stopped, that would make sense as to why they closed the customer service and why they would close the email services and the phone numbers and all of that kind of stuff, which inadvertently had left a lot of people not really knowing what to do about their outstanding orders. But it is extremely clear to me at this point this is an operational error on the side of PaigeChrist and not necessarily on the side of Snitchery. All outstanding orders that were not fulfilled should have been dealt with before the closure of any accounts. However, that didn't happen. So I did ask, have you seen any of the hoo-ha that's been going on social media, on Reddit, on Twitter, on TikTok, where people have been calling you out, especially on Instagram, where the majority of these messages were left? On the Last Gen's Instagram account, she basically said she stopped looking at the Last Gen account because it was making her very sad, because it was something that she poured her whole soul into and it just never happened in the way that she expected it to. So she just stopped looking. So after the closure and everybody parting ways, she never opened up that account again. This is what she's telling me. You are free to believe or not believe that if you will. In terms of everything else, I did ask about the customer who had contacted her directly through her email, and that's when she told me that she actually doesn't handle her emails, it's her management who handles her emails. Apparently they had done a conflict resolution that she was aware of with a customer who did email them directly, and that situation has been resolved, but we can't work out whether this same customer who had wrote about speaking to a manager is the exact same customer who had the conflict resolution. So I said, well, what is our conflict resolution? We all know how social media is. Everybody just wants this situation to be solved and rectified in the best way possible. So she basically suggested to give everybody the opportunity to email her if they have their customer number and it hasn't been fulfilled or they are unhappy in any way, that her management will be able to start that conversation and hopefully have this situation dealt with for anybody who needs it. So if you are a customer of Snitchery or Last Gen and you've had any kind of problems and you have your customer number, your order details and all of that good stuff, please make sure that you use the email address that will be linked in the description box down below, and hopefully you guys will be able to get it sorted. But it is more so a situation, and I am going to be honest, where I do believe there was a breakdown in communication after the closure of Snitchery's account, which kind of turned into something bigger, and due to her angst at looking at the thing it is that she poured her soul into and watching it not really be the thing it is that she had imagined, I think at least it gives a level of plausible deniability, I guess, that she may not have seen what was going on social media. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest, not entirely sure I believe that, because girl, I get a lot of messages and I see the bad ones every day. But I'll leave that up to you guys as to what you believe, because girl, I'm not here to give you what my fucking opinion is. But anyway, we had a conversation. She seems like a really nice girl, and I hate this because every time I speak to people, I always feel like I humanize them to a certain degree, and she was really sad. It's really sad to hear her so upset about something that she really worked hard on, and I at least feel for her in that degree because, as you guys know, my business of Dramatic Boutique also closed in 2022, so it wasn't a very good year for us either, and for very similar reasons, not on the customer service side, but on the side of it just not being financially viable to continue running. I get that, which I think is not something that a lot of these influencers think about. Okay, it's editing page here. I also forgot to add that when it comes to all of the products being like on various different websites and stuff, she was so unaware, and she's definitely going to be speaking to Paige to deal with that, because this, as far as we're aware, this is not their intellectual property, so they really don't have any rights to be selling unless it's something that they contracted in. I don't know, but she's unaware, and that's going to be dealt with her and her team. So yeah, I missed that part, but you get the vibes. But the other thing is that there are influencers who are still working with this brand currently. There are some big names such as Courtney Cox Arquette, who is working alongside Paige, and she also has this homeware line which is called Home Court or something, all done through Paige. Another influencer of which you guys will know, Makeup by Shayla, she is also working with Paige with her sportswear line Season 10. So they are getting their name out there. There are loads of different people who are working with this company, and I don't know if we're going to see a lot more issues when it comes to influencer product production in the future, because it just seems like a lot's been going wrong and a lot of bad things have been taking place, and I don't think that that is just solely to do with Eleanor. I think that there's a lot of other people. I've shown evidence of a lot of people having so many different issues with this company. So with that being said, I'm just going to leave that to you. I'm going to go back to what it was that I was originally saying. I hope you have a good day. I think that it lightly left her out of pocket, and judging by the amount of negative reviews again that it is that we've seen, it's probably the case that she was unable to get the situation resolved, which is just an error. It's an error in judgment when, you know, placing your intentions to do good business with another company, but it is just the world of business. I feel like the only place that Eleanor went wrong was by not addressing it to the individuals who had paid their money, who so desperately wanted to support her. Even one person not receiving a product and then still purchasing a second time just because they fucking love you and they fuck with you. And I feel like that's the only place that she let herself down. But besides that, I genuinely don't think that this was her fault. There's just so much negativity surrounding this company and a lot less negativity surrounding this content creator's problematic behavior. Because realistically, this is, since the blackfishing situation, which she was not at fault for, this is her biggest scandal to date. However, what I will say is if I do get a formal response from Snitchery, I will definitely leave any kind of updates in this video, so hopefully you've already heard that by now. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully this cleared up a lot of misconceptions for people. Hopefully this will give people an insight as to the reviews of this particular company, and maybe might allow other creators to scrutinize this company before working with them. I'm not going to tell you who you can work with, girl. I don't want a lawsuit. Okay, you can work with who you want, but you know, look around, see, smell the roses, as they say. With that being said, I want to say a massive thank you to my members, my Patreons, as well as my Twitch fam, as well as my researcher. Oh my god, you did the thing. And whilst we went a bit crazy trying to figure out who the hell these companies are in relation to each other, I'm so glad that we've been able to collaborate on such a good video. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is you're doing, and until next time, my voice is going, girl. It's been Paige.